Divine and royal greetings, family. I am Shayola Benta.
I am Reverend Lydia Evans.
And I'm Ayo Keisha Smith.
And I'm Priya Bhagat, and this is Currency Conversation with the Sisters. Welcome.
Ding, 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 ding. Welcome. So, another 7 days have gone by, and here we are all together again. Y'all don't know, it's sometimes difficult to get four women in the same space, but we are happy when it happens this way. So we have been having short discussions, just about all that's happening. And Mother Priya sent information about miseducation, right? So we decided that we are going to discuss the currency of miseducation. Now, we are going to show two videos. So just travel with us, get your water or your tea or whatever beverage and relax. Take notes if you can. And we're going to come back in and have a discussion. Now, I do know Mama Lydia, her her reception and StreamYard are just not the best of friends. But I'm sure she'll be here by the time we come back on the other side of these videos. So I'm going to go ahead and get those queued up. And while I'm doing that, ladies, do you have anything to add before we get started?
No?
No?
No,
All
I'm
right.
excited about this conversation. So let's get to it.
Let's get to it. All right, here we go. We're going to start with this one. The easier transitions are coming, I promise. All right, a lot of activity. All right, here we go. It's a cycling. All right, let's just give it a moment to let's see here. Hmm.
Good morning, amazing students of Arkansas. I am Trey Susky, and today we will be exploring the functions and characteristics of money is also known as currency. In other words you may have heard, such as cash, bread. What do you know about money? Good. It is what we use to pay for things. It comes in coins like pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters. It even comes in paper bills like ones, fives, tens, and even to pay for. Yes, you are all in services. Goods are you can pay people or businesses to do for you. Can you give me some examples of goods? What about some examples of services? Some goods you might buy include any
Definitely.
example of a service would be mailing a package to a parent or even if your pet is really sick, you can also pay for a veterinarian to take care of them. That is a service too. Let's check out this flea market to see how all right, let's just grab a couple of these things and well, hello there.
Hi, is
It's really hot, and so I know I want to keep the sun out of my eyes and maybe even give me some shade. What do you have?
you're in luck. I have a lot of sunglasses for sale and hats for sale.
Awesome. Let me take a look at these real quick.
Paola. I can't hear. I can't hear anything. I can't hear anything. I can't hear you. I can't, I can't hear a thing.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you now, but I couldn't hear any of the second video, and the first video was choppy.
Yeah, I see that the internet is like, oh, you might be a little unstable. Okay. So we'll try it again. Let's see what happens. One moment. I'm going to try. Okay, here goes. Ooh, child. I need a video person. All right, here goes. Let's see if I'm doing this right. So that first video was choppy. Yeah.
Yeah, I got, I
Let's
got
see how this
the gist of it.
bits and pieces. Okay, let's see how this one does. Let me know.
Yeah.
Imagine, if you will, that each of you is 60 years old, if you're not already, and you're 100% financially secure with over $3 million in investments, and it's growing. I mean, how would you feel? Happy, relaxed, stress-free, worry-free about your financial future? What would your life be like? The truth is, most people, less than 20% of the population, will actually retire financially secure. The combined credit card debt in North America is currently $825 billion. But that pales in comparison to the student loan debt, which is $1.3 trillion. Oh, and the global government debt, $62 trillion. And sadly, the average person will only have $6,200 in assets when they die. We debt finance everything, and this has become normalized in society. And because of this, most people will not retire financially secure. This is a global issue. And if it doesn't change, you, the taxpayer, and your children, and their children, and their children will be paying for this atrocity. We're expected to pay down all of our government debts with our taxes, and a lot of people have to liquidate to pay off their debt. How did this happen? Well, there's two reasons. First, the education system does not teach simple money management habits to children growing up.
Simple.
And second, we are influenced to debt finance everything. Debt is a multi-billion-dollar industry. You know, we go to school growing up. We all went to school. And what did we learn? Math, science, geography, English, calculus. But there's a glaring lack of financial literacy in the educational curriculum. And worldwide, there's a precept that we are to go to school, we get educated, we get a job, but nobody's teaching anybody how to manage money properly. And most people will graduate from university and college with no financial foundation, only debt, and most people are going into the professional world completely in debt. Simply because the education system is not teaching us, you, me, our children, how to manage money properly. My belief is that the school system failed us. And by not including financial literacy in the curriculum, we all grew up and we all graduated with knowledge in certain areas, but the entire world runs on money, and if you don't know how to manage it properly, you run into trouble. And our children aren't being educated how to manage money. I have 4 children, 2 boys, 2 shoppers. I want my children to hit retirement completely financially secure, and I'm going to make sure that happens. Because let me share with you a story as to why this is so important to me. You see, I didn't have any financial training. I went into the world and I was really good at selling and making money in business. But in 1991, after selling $500,000 the year before in my first business, I found myself completely broke and $150,000 in debt. You see, there was an economic recession, and it was really bad. And all the businesses I were selling to were starting to bounce their checks, and some went bankrupt, and my checks were then bouncing, and my business was spiraling out of control. So in 1991, at the age of 31, I got to move back home with my parents. Oh yeah, I felt like a loser. But you know what? Try and get a date. Well, we're going back to your parents. Try and get a second date. But while back at home, which was not only just a humbling experience for me, my mother came into the bedroom I was occupying, and she handed me a book, and she said, "Read this." I read it, and it had a very simple principle. Save 10% of everything you earn, invest it properly, and never spend it. I then read another book, same principle. Save 10%, never spend it. I thought to myself, is it really that simple? 10% of everything you earn and you just invest it properly and it'll grow? Well, I was fortunate enough at that time to also meet a mentor. His name was Doug Mahar. He was a very successful multimillionaire businessman in Toronto. And he took me under his wing. And he taught me how to run a business. And he taught me how to manage money. You see, he saved 10% of everything he earned throughout his lifetime and accumulated a very large fortune. And so I started to take money that I was earning and investing it in the stock market and in real estate. And within 2 years, I was completely financially free. And by 8 years, my assets were over $1 million, and I kept growing. And I went back into the business world, and I started to sell really well. Because I had the confidence now and the understanding of the way money works. If you make it and spend it, it disappears. But when you have this financial foundation in place, amazing things happen. Imagine this. At 15, you started to put $100 a month away. And by the time you were 20, you increased that to $500 a month, and then onward, you kept increasing it. Well, if you did that over 40 years, you'd have about $2 million in investments. After 50 years, over $5 million in investments. 10%. That's all it took. So, having had this experience, I went into the world and became an international speaker, and I trained all these courses in business and leadership. And one thing I noticed as I traveled around the world, having trained over 250,000 entrepreneurs, I discovered that everybody is struggling. This is a global issue. People don't know how to manage money properly, and as a result, they're struggling. And so I created a system based on those books and some other influencers that I met along the way. And the system is called Life's Golden Buckets. And it's a simple money management system. And my goal is that every child throughout the world via the internet will be able to educate themselves. And I'm going to ask parents and grandparents and everybody to ensure that your children, their children, and grandchildren start learning this. And I'm working with an amazing woman to help bring this out to the world. Because we want our children to grow up not in debt, but flourishing with investments. So let me show you this system. It's called Life's Golden Buckets. Now, these buckets represent bank accounts. The way this works is all of your after-tax income goes in to an account. And you divide your money into 6 accounts. So it's after-tax income. Now, if you're self-employed, you have your own business, then of course you must save your own taxes. So I have my own tax bucket. Now, the first bucket, everything you earn goes in here. And I'll use money as a visual because we like money. 10% goes in here. Invest it properly with a proper financial advisor and never spend it. Next is your spending account. This is for buying things. We all like to buy things. We need to buy things. But often people are buying things on credit cards and these loans that you don't pay off till next year. And that's what's getting people into trouble. 10% goes into this account every time you get paid. And when you got enough money to buy that new TV or that car or whatever you want to buy, then you spend it. So you only spend it when you have it. Next is your education account. We want our children to learn to save for their education so that they have money to go to university with or college with or any post-secondary school. But also throughout your entire lifetime, you want to continue to educate yourself. I'm constantly reinvesting in myself because there's so much to always learn in business. So 10% goes in your education account. Next is your life necessities account. This account is 55%. Yes, you have to learn to live on 55% of your after-tax income. So sometimes, and for a while, you may have to simplify things like I did so that you can get back on track. The next is your fun account. Because on your way to financial freedom and security, you still have to have fun. So every time you get paid, 10% goes in your fun account, and you must spend this every month. Go out for a nice dinner, get a nice bottle of wine, go on a vacation retreat, a weekend retreat. You can also save it up for 3 months once in a while and go on a nice weekend getaway with your partner. Do family things with this, have fun. Because what's going to happen is if you simplify and you're investing and you're still having fun, you're going to get into the habit of living this way. And eventually this is going to grow and you'll be able to live off the residual. And you'll probably live a lot better than you did your entire life. The last account is your charity account, so that we always have money to give back and we have money whenever there's a need in the world. This simple money management system can be taught in every classroom in the world, and that's what we're doing. And I'm dedicating part of my life now to making sure that our young people are properly educated, and I'm going to create a massive global influential movement to do this because it's needed. And I don't want my children, and I don't want your children or the grandchildren to become victims of a society that influences debt when you can simply create freedom if you just invest simply 10% of your money. It's that simple. So this is a system that is simple, it's doable, and it's just math. I'm going to ask every person, every man, to take responsibility and educate their children. Every woman to take responsibility and educate their children on a system like this. Mothers are probably the best at teaching. You know, there's a truth. If women ran the world, we'd have world peace and no hunger. So I'm going to ask everyone, man, women, even children, start learning this system. It's never too late. Adults can learn it anytime, and it works. I've seen so many lives impacted in a positive way by people who've taken this system and implemented it. I'm going to ask you to help me. We want to create an organic online education system so that children can graduate. You know, a child entering high school today or entering school today will graduate in 2076. Let's make sure that they are totally secure. And when they retire, so they retire in 2076, let's make sure they're totally secure.
So that was amazing. But before we go into unpacking what we just saw and hopefully what we were able to see and hear in the last video, let's get some of these ads out of the way. So we are still on our 50K tour. We are coming to South Carolina on Sunday, September 25th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The crypto nurse herself will be our host, along with our dear brother and coach, Eric Toure Muhammad, and his lovely wife. And if we're lucky, I believe that Dr. Best, which is our fearless leader, he'll be in the house as well. So that's at 8910 Farrow Road in Columbia, South Carolina. Call Team KQ at 803-361-3576 for details. We are on the run for 50,000 millionaires. Will you be one of them? Hopefully. And directly after this live, we will switch over to the Eric Toure Muhammad Facebook page where he is hosting Welcome to the Wealth Transfer, Drive Time with Brother Eric Toure Muhammad. And that actually is every day from Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's great education there, so feel free to come by, bring your children, your grandchildren, or anyone that can use the information about this beautiful and auspicious time that we're in. If you would like to learn more about our money system, feel free to take a screenshot of this flyer. We meet 7 days a week on the Gold Rocks platform. So that's www.goldrocks.info. Spearheaded, this Wealth Builders Worldwide movement by none other than Dr. Tyrone Best. He is the author of the Dream Chaser Manifesto. And right above that book cover is Mr. and Mrs. Dalco. They are our fearless leaders in this opportunity, and our condolences to the Dalco family as they move through their transition. We are back again every third Saturday of the month, planting good karma. Still a part of the 50K tour. Saturday, September 17th at 4:05 p.m. will be at the Fairfield Henrico County Public Library. That's 1401 North Laburnum Avenue. Now, last Saturday that we met, Brother Eric and his lovely wife came to visit us, and we were surprised by Dr. Best and his young men. And they've decided, Dr. Best and the boys, to come back. This is pretty epic. And I say that because, these tickets to hear Dr. Best speak can be easily in the hundreds, and we do not have to pay anything but a little sweat equity to hear one of the greats, one of the Network Hall of Famers speak here in Richmond, Virginia. We hope to see you there. And of course, we'll be back next week, Monday, with Currency Conversations with Sisters at 4 p.m. live on YouTube, The Emerald Scarab, and Facebook, Shayola Yeye Segment. That's my Facebook page, and we hope to see you. All right, so now we're going to toggle back on over to our main page. Ta-da! So the first video was very different from the second video, but tell us, what was your takeaway, Mother, from either of the two?
Well, the first video was needed because that's the crust of the problem. He said, how did this happen? It happened because they dumb us down when it comes to money management. Mm-hmm. As he said, they do not teach money management in school.
Right.
As we saw with that first video, was very simple. What he said was in the first video, it is what we use to pay for things. So he had already established what money was used for, to spend, for goods and services. Yes, we do need goods and services, but what we do is overconsume, we overspend, which leads to debt. That gets us into this problem that by the time of our retirement, we don't have the money for our security.
Right.
And this is something that is designed. It's already designed. It has been put in the matrix program already. Education. Because what the corporations or powers that be, they want to create workers. They need to create workers to work in their jobs. So why would they create an educational system that empowers you to become independent, to become financially wealthy, where they have less workers? So they're not going to teach you financial, management in school or money management in school. I mean, there's a reason for this. And then they teach you, hey, go to college. And if you don't go to college, you feel, left behind, or you feel guilty. But they tell you to go to college so you acquire more debt. Everything is connected. Everything is controlled. And this morning we talked about being conscious. We need to wake up to
Mhm.
what they are doing to us. They are controlling us. They are putting us in debt.
Mm.
They want us to be this way. It's planned for us. It's part of this matrix system. And
Mhm.
and the reason I, thought about this because you got schools opening up now. Going back to school tomorrow and going back to the same program, the same
Mm.
system,
Mhm.
repeating it over and over again. Right now, um, Florida side of school, that's the belong to school right now.
Mother, I'm not sure if it's on my end. I'm not sure if anyone in the chat can say it's coming in a little.
You can't hear
I
me,
can hear you. I can hear you, but it does
Chauncey?
sound a little choppy. Yeah. It could be me. It could be my end though. Not sure.
How about now?
I can hear you
Can
clearly.
you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
But, the thing is, again, they don't teach this in school. It's designed this way. They need workers, so they're not going to empower you, telling you to go to college where you acquire more debt. You get credit cards, you acquire more debt. So you're being programmed. You're not conscious of what's going on. Parents need to be fighting for financial literacy classes in school.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they need to be fighting for.
Mm-hmm. And if they
Wake
can't
up.
find it, making sure that they're doing it. One of the
Yes.
things that he said, like you said, how did this happen? Right? The educational system doesn't teach financial literacy, and we are taught to debt finance everything. So just as you were saying, like we're literally taught to
We're controlled. We are controlled. They get us into this way of living, a debt way of living. But like Robert Kiyosaki, if you know how to make that work for you, then you would know. But we don't know that either.
don't know that. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't know that either.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we definitely use credit as a way of living. But again, if you know how to use credit, more power to you. But it shouldn't be used as a way of life. And a lot of people really are living a credit card type of life, fully debt based. And that's a scary thought.
Yeah.
That's a scary thought. One of the things I can remember one of
But
my
yeah.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
But the people who governs us, they're in debt. $62 trillion in debt.
That's not my
So if
bill.
they're in debt, why wouldn't they want you not in debt?
Yeah, I
And
mean,
like you said, who's going to pay for this? The taxpayers. So
and
it's like a continuous circle.
perpetual one. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. From
It's
generation
really
to generation
bad.
too. I mean, we just keep passing it on. So it's when
Yes.
does it end?
Passing it on.
Who ends it? What family member says, you know what, y'all? We got a raw deal. We got to switch up what we've known. And what family
Yeah.
member will say, you know what? I don't like the fact that I have to change, but I know I have to do this because I've been taught the wrong thing from the time I came onto this planet. That's a tough pill.
Yeah, but if you know, yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
But why wouldn't you want your children or you to be financially secure come retirement? Or even before that. Even before that. Doesn't have to be retirement. And like
Right.
the sister said in the power call, the pre-call, she said they didn't even teach her budgeting in college. They don't even teach this in college.
Mm-hmm.
A simple thing is just budgeting your money.
Mm.
They ain't even teaching that in college.
They're not. And I can
Oh,
only
yeah.
imagine if you're a finance major, there's, some things missing. Because like I say, some of the books that we have looked at don't teach about money. But, going back to that first video, right? He was showing
Yes.
how or what to do with money. That in and of itself is an untrue statement, because what he was showing isn't technically money. It's cash. Right? But we use
Yes.
words so interchangeably that one would think that cash and money are the same, and they are not. So cash is meant to be spent. It doesn't hold value. So you use that for commerce. But money, which is that hedge against inflation, that thing that stores value, now that is what we should be saving. But if we're teaching the children that cash is money rather than a medium of exchange or a tool for exchange, like, here's your cash, you spend this, okay? Your silver, your gold, your whatever, you don't want to spend that. But we aren't, teaching that. Like, and I'll keep saying that. I didn't know that there was a difference between cash and money until I was 39 years old. That's high school.
No, I've never heard that either.
All through school. And
Miseducation.
Entrepreneurship. I just didn't know that there was a difference. And we have people who are working very hard for cash that has no value to put it in a bank that's not going to give you any return on it. So it's like a double whammy. Like, it's real in the field. And I hope that, with each passing day, somebody else, the light bulb goes off for them. But we have a solution, right?
Yes.
Especially now with our metaverse certificates. I've been saying when we went out earlier today, yesterday too. I'll start with yesterday. Of course, I saw a brother coming out of the supermarket, and I asked him, I said, if I can show you a way where you can grow $2,000 into $20,000 in 18 months, would you be interested? He said, no, I'm good. And it's just like, okay. I asked another guy today, and he was interested. When I said the 2,000 into 20,000, he was like, huh. I said, have you ever heard of compound interest? He was like, no, I haven't. So of course, we went on with the conversation and inviting him, but people just don't know, what they don't know. And you know what I'm gonna start asking people when they say, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna say, well, do you know anyone else that's not good? Because it's not really about us, it's a bigger issue at hand. But these metaverses.
That's what I did today when I
Would you say you did the same thing today?
When I text the lady, I sent her the link. I say, if you don't find it interesting, please pass it on to someone else. Pass it on to someone else. If you don't find it interesting. But I was out at the park yesterday, at this community gathering, and there was a lot of seniors out there. And I met one senior. She said, yeah, I'm retired, but because we were talking, but once she mentioned retirement, I went into, so what are you going to do with your retirement? Are you interested in growing your money? She said, yeah, I might be. So anyway, I sent her the link and everything. So I'll see what comes of that. And I met two young brothers. I don't know how we got to talking about wealth. Oh, he was a builder, but I don't know how we got to talk about wealth and crypto. But one of the brothers said, yeah, I didn't think anybody was talking about crypto. And they say they were interested. So hopefully one will come tonight to the 7 o'clock presentation.
Okay.
So,
okay.
We'll see.
Ooh. Well, that's what we're going to keep doing. Yeah. You said what now?
Yeah. Because you say, yeah, I want to be a millionaire. I said, well, this is your time then.
This is your time. Absolutely. Well, I
Anyway,
hope that he makes it to our 7 o'clock call as well. We do indeed have a 7 o'clock call every Monday evening for the Return to Your Royalty Warriors team huddle. So if you're interested in that, just, drop a line in the comments. We'll be able to see that. We'll make sure that you have the coordinates to get there. So, this has been another great conversation. We can go on and on and on, but,
Yeah.
we know that we want to keep it, clear and concise. And we'll come back Monday with another topic. But just know, we are operating in integrity. We are operating with morals. We are operating ethically. And what we are doing is legal. And it's legal in over 150 countries. So the same way your parents or grandparents may have gotten a CD or a bond or something for you when you were small or even before you got here, we have something, I wouldn't say similar, but better, right? So we have two vehicles that move very quickly to make sure that you are saving your money. We're not talking about cash. We're talking about money. So, all right, Mother, are there any closing words that you would like to leave the community with?
Yeah, just to anybody who is listening to us that will see the repeat of this video. Just don't continue to walk around without any understanding, with being unconscious, just being educated about finances. Get that money management that you need. And we have the vehicle that can help you.
We do. We definitely do. We do. And that's knowing that you have a financial foundation. It's pretty amazing. I was just going over my notes to see if there was anything that was left behind, but I think we covered it all. But I think that the one thing was live on 55% of your earnings, what you have after taxes. So if we don't have to spend every single thing that we earn, right? And we no longer have to work for our money. Our money now works for us. Well, I think it's always been that way. We just didn't get the memo. But
well, just
we're
think
here.
if Think and Grow Rich and The Richest Man in Babylon was a part of the reading curriculum.
That would be amazing.
Just don't do that.
That would be really, really great. And we spoke about Think and Grow Rich earlier today. And one thing that Pastor Miles Monroe said is, it doesn't say work and grow rich. It says think and grow rich. I heard Grant Cardone say today as well, you can never become wealthy with earned income. It has to be passive because you just don't have that much energy, that much labor to give in order to, build wealth. So with that, family, we say thank you so very much. Mother, were you going to say something?
Well, thank you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you co-hosting with me, helping to get this word out. And we're going to keep coming back for as long as we can to share the fact that there are currencies that we really need to be mindful of. So until next Monday, stay safe, peace, love, and wholeness. Peace, family.